I'm telling you, a Blue Monday has never felt this exciting. Let me tell you why. Do you know why? Because EkSe is on your TV screens and we're taking you till 5 p.m. So make sure you keep it locked in. Your mama, your papa, your oppa, your neighbors, your adopted cousin. Go fetch them all because we have a fantastic dish of entertainment for you right here on EkSe. My name is Rizar Forbes and I'm super excited to be on your TV screens one last time. And I'm not riding alone. I never am. Yeah, help me to steer the ship of entertainment is the one and only Miss Zayda.
Yeah, man. I mean, they don't call me Zayda for nothing, right?
Exactly.
Why are you so excited today?
I don't know. It's like a Blue Monday. It's just,
no,
it's like an antidote.
You know why I'm so excited and I'm glowing? Because it's springtime,
hey,
you know? And I hope you guys actually had a blossomed, colorful day. As you know, I'm actually having it right here on EkSe. And of course, our lineup is super, super jam-packed with lots of fun and also education as well. So don't forget to connect with us on social media platforms. We are available on Facebook and of course on Twitter. Give us a call on 021 448 0448, or maybe you can give us an email on I am at lamamoon@gmail.com.
Yes, I'm lamamoon@gmail.com.
Blue Monday, dude.
Connect with us on our social media. We love hearing from you. Speaking about social media, I have a dilemma. My Twitter account is locked because I changed my date of birth.
What happened?
I changed my date of birth to the original one because I was younger then. But now they locked it and I need help.
Because you're being unruly, that's why.
Absolutely. Listen, on our lineup today, sitting down with us on the yellow couch, we have the director and founder of Amandla Development, Mr. Scott Clark is in the building, and we'll be chatting to him, finding out exactly what it is that they actually do. So make sure you stick around for that.
Yes, we also have Vulisango. It's an organization that promotes, peace amongst the youth and also the community as well. Through gang mediation, empowerment, and also youth social empowerment development workshops. So later on, you know what, because this organization, actually, I'm very excited to get to know it and to find out what they're all about. Because this guy is very exciting. Yongama is the name. He is a boxer. He's the executive director of Vulisango. So he'll be here to unpack more about this organization. So I'm very excited for that one as well.
Absolutely, man. Listen, these two organizations is going to be doing the most with us on EkSe right now. Must I tell you why I'm super excited?
Why?
Because we have trending news next. Let's check out what's trending. Yeah, let's go.
Welcome back. You're still tuning to the one and only youth show right here in Cape Town TV. It is, of course, EkSe. We're coming to you live right here on Cape Town TV. Right about now, it's time for us to actually check what's been happening on the social media, saga world type of thing. I mean, it's been a weekend. Everybody's been glowing. So I just want to find out from you, Rizal, what do you have?
Hey, man, I have a lot actually on my timeline. A lot has been happening. Things like that. So while everyone is actually celebrating Heritage Month, because September is Heritage Month, we're celebrating the month of heritage in South Africa and also literacy. Now, Nali Bali will actually be hosting the annual multilingual storytelling contest once again. Now, the long story Bozo competition or contest was launched on Friday, the 31st of August, with the theme South African Heroes. Now, the contest helps the country nurture a new generation of courageous and literate children. Storytelling passes on values and is an important part of children's literacy development, and while encouraging them to develop an imagination, curiosity, and also empathy. Now this year, the campaign has created a hero-inspired storytelling board game to actually help entrants build and practice these storytelling skills. Now the campaign will also engage with at least 10,000 adults as well as the youth through the community and regional events that is actually held by its literacy mentors, schools, and also volunteers across the country. So you're going to learn to read, Baba.
Right? I mean, that is very inspiring as well.
Yes.
But moving on, an anxious dad to be managed to drive his wife to the hospital, but only got as far as the parking lot where she gave birth.
Hey.
The medics said that they heard someone calling for help in a parking lot of the Netcare St. Augustine's Hospital in Berea. Mrs. Nontutuko Bengu was in the back of the bakkie in severe pain and in the process of delivering her baby. After a short period of time, Lil Sibusisiwe Bengu was welcomed into the world of big smiles from Mr. and Mrs. Bengu. Now, the mother and the baby are in hospital as we speak right now and are actually very well. That was a bit close though.
It was. I feel like everyone's having babies all of a sudden. Yesterday, I was actually at the baby shower and every second lady was pregnant and I'm like, what is happening?
Because you know why? It's
Why?
spring. It's spring month.
So everything must spring out
the spring
now.
babies like us.
Anyway, we have celebrated Women's Month just last month, but we are still, it's never too late to celebrate another woman. And she goes by the name of Fetogo Molawa. Now, Lieutenant Fetogo Molawa has actually broken the barriers through gender and age in a career realm perceived to be more masculine than anything else. Now, Lieutenant Molawa is the first black person to command a South African Air Force installation. Now, she considers this one of her career highlights. The first one actually being when she actually became the first female helicopter pilot in the SAAF at the tender age of 21. Now today she actually manages over 100 people at the PE Air Force Base, situated a stone's throw away from the actual airport, and it also then shares a runway. Now her role actually requires a wide variety of skills, and she managed, you know, the VIPs, the VVIPs, which is us, and all of those bad things. So,
she's
man,
very inspiring.
She is very inspiring.
She is the lieutenant.
Yes, the lieutenant. I need a break.
Right? I think we need a break. That's it for us. Our training news. Catch you more next week, same time, same place. Right about now, it's time for us to take a quick breather. We'll be right back with Vulisango, right?
Yes.
Yes. Hey. Welcome back. You guys are still tuned into the one and only amazing show right here in Cape Town TV. It is, of course, EkSe. And right before the ad break, we just shared a little bit of training news, and we did mention that we're going to be sitting down with Oyongama. He's the executive director of Vulisango organization. So we're talking about gang mediation, we're talking about empowerment and all sorts of stuff. And joining us right now is Yongama. Yongama, welcome on the show. First of all, you're a boxer, right?
Yes.
And of course, you are a gang mediator. Can you please explain what's a gang mediator?
So, in simple terms, a gang mediator is someone who, when there's conflict, a lot of conflict in the communities, when it comes to two rival gangs having conflict, you know, a lot of people die in the process, and a lot of property gets, you know, damaged. Exactly. So we then come in, we speak to the individuals who are, you know, perpetrating these acts. Yes. Not in the form of trying to reprimand or trying to criminalize.
Yes. Yes.
But we come there and we speak to them as normal human beings, normal individuals, and we mediate in the conflict, you know, that's happening between the two gangs. So that's where the form then of gang mediation comes in, when we mediate between the two gangs.
Oh, okay. So just before we actually came back, we were speaking about you being a former boxer. You're not done yet. You're just taking a break. But I actually want to know, you being a boxer, what then actually led to you saying, I'm going to start this organization?
So just the culture in most townships is, because of the violence and because of, you know, a lot of issues that happen in townships, poverty, gangsterism, drug abuse, and everything like that. When you grow up with the sense that, you know, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to study, and then I'm going to leave. Right? When you hear stories, they'll tell you there was a guy next door, he lived next door, he studied, he's a lawyer now, but you've never seen him.
Exactly.
Because he left,
exactly.
Right? So I got into boxing as a sort of way out. Yes. Right? As a sort of way out from everything that was happening in the community. Yeah. But along the way, and along meeting people and along seeing things that are happening in your own community, you see, but this is not just about me. Yes. You know, because it's also going to happen to me, because growing up, you know, the only people I saw were the guys who were driving nice cars, fancy cars, they have money, you know, they'll come in the corner, they'll sit with you, they'll buy you drinks, they'll buy you meat, you know, it's nice. Exactly, you know. But then I've never seen the lawyer, because he left, you know, the guys that I see, you know. So then I thought, no, let me become then a living example, you know, stay in the community, you know, work in the community, and make sure that my success becomes everyone's success. You know, so that's what then got me into the organization with my partner Zukile, who couldn't be here today, unfortunately. But you know, that's how I got in, making sure that, you know, my success can't just be my success, because then I become another statistic of someone who, you know, who just left,
I love it, man.
Let's talk about the mission of the organization, Vulisango. I mean, it says by itself, you guys promote peace and, of course, maintain a gang violence-free learning environment. How do you go about that?
So what we currently do right now is we're focusing in schools.
Yeah.
Because another mistake a lot of people tend to make is that they tend to think that the school is separate from the community.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's in the same area. It's inside the community. Yeah. Those students that are going to that school are the same people who are outside of the school perpetrating these acts.
Exactly.
You know, inside the school who are bullying students, and then it goes out and then it becomes a full-blown gang.
Yes.
One of the most notorious youth gangs that in Cape Town started in a school, which was a conflict between the Vatos and the Voras.
Oh, okay.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, it started in a school.
Yes, yes.
So these are things that we need to be cognizant about. These are things that we need to be aware of, and to not then separate the school outside of the community.
Yes.
So how we go about doing this then is that we focus in school, and we do direct mediation and we do indirect mediation. So direct mediation is then, you know, coming in while there's conflicts, you know, while there's a full-blown conflict, while the students are fighting, and we mediate that, and that takes a certain types of skill set. So not all of our facilitators do that.
Okay.
So it is myself, Zukile, and some of the older members of the organization who actually go in and mediate during direct conflict.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then what we do then, we focus on, you know, indirect mediation, which is we do preventative mediation through workshops, and we come then because also what happens is, growing up in a poor household, you know, you are taught, you know, the only way to make it is to become a lawyer or become a doctor.
Yes,
True.
yes.
But, you know, there are students there who are not really doing good, you know, in certain subjects in school.
Yes.
So they want to become something else, and we then do these workshops, and aside from, you know, teaching them, you know, conflict resolution skills, you know, how to deal with bullying, how to deal with it, because some young women, when they go to school, you know, they get
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
those type of
that,
things, you know, and those are demeaning. So when you get to school, that thing's already in your head. You're walking to school, 8 o'clock, how are you going to study when
and you don't even have self-confidence as well.
Exactly, you know,
that's
so
what
we
they
teach
don't
them
know.
that, you know, self-confidence,
Yes.
how to deal with, you know, the issues that they're facing at home.
Yeah.
Because we must also remember that it's not isolated in the school. They have to go back to their own homes where they're going to deal with the same, you know, with an abusive father. Or some even come from child-headed households.
Exactly.
So they have to go home and they have to be a parent, you know, to a lot of children.
Exactly.
So we teach them how to we teach them coping mechanisms of how to cope, you know, with those situations, you know, and things like that. Yeah.
But I wanna know. So you spoken a lot about gang meditating and all of those things. So how would you then identify someone who's a gang member and then actually turn them into, you know, responsible citizens or whatever the case may be?
Yes. So as I mentioned earlier on, you know, gangs are not, you know, this demigod or type of thing. You know, they are human beings. You know, they are brothers, they are sisters. And some of them, you know, most people know a gang member that's next door that you grew up with, you know.
Exactly.
I mean, I remember growing up, some of my friends, you know, became gang members.
Yeah.
You know, so these are normal people that we're dealing with, you know. So, and you come to them at that as a normal person, you know, because this person didn't just wake up, and no one goes through life saying, one day I want to be a gang member.
Hey, man.
You know?
Yeah.
One day I want to
Exactly,
sell
man.
drugs. You know, I want to have it. No one grows up like that. You know, it's a series of events and circumstances that lead them into that life, that lead them into that sort of situation. So we go in there being cognizant of that, understanding that it's a series of events that lead this person to the situation that they are in, and they're not here because they want to, but they're here because of circumstances, and they feel that some of us understand we do have choices in life, but at that moment they feel that they don't have a choice.
Any choices.
So it's about opening them up to the possibilities of what they can do, you know, just being you with your skill set, with your understanding, with, you know, and things like that. And you'll find a lot of people, for example, one of the guys who was involved in the gang inside the school, he's now an opera singer.
Oh my
Can
word.
you imagine?
He sings in this place in Cape Town at the
Artscape.
Artscape.
Yeah.
So he gets paid, he gets booked.
Okay.
He's working in the organization and getting
Oh,
his
wow.
stipend. So he's a youth leader inside the community.
Yes.
So, and how we noticed this guy is he was one of also the gang leaders.
Okay.
And we have a simple method that we do in one of our projects, which is the Student Safety Hub.
Yes.
We teach transformation through occupation. So if I was a leader within a gang, I can still be a leader, but within something else.
Yay.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you don't just remove the drug element and then you leave people.
Yes.
You don't just remove the gang element and you leave them, but you substitute that with something else which is positive, they can become contributing citizens in the community, you know, in the city, in the country.
I love it, man.
I'm actually hearing you out, and the more you speak, you're making more sense, actually. Now, we're talking about solving this whole issue, and especially when it comes to our communities, what needs to be done more in helping to sustain a gang-free community?
Yes.
Well, I think what needs to be done is that there needs to be, first and foremost, will from the government to support initiatives.
But do you think
this.
our government is doing that right now?
There are programs that are being run by government which is doing. For example, we are being supported by a private entity, which is the Learning Trust, and then we also then get ad hoc support from the Western Cape government, and we get ad hoc support from the Department of Arts and Culture for our arts programs.
Yes.
So, but then not all organizations are as lucky as we are.
Exactly.
We know struggling organizations that are in the community. But what needs to also happen is then we can't be operating in silos.
Yes.
Right.
For example, I'll have an organization that's a dance organization, for example.
Yes.
He'll open dance organization, two streets down.
Exactly.
Now, what that does is then we're operating in silos and we're not really addressing what needs to be addressed. So there needs to be will from the government. There needs to be will from civil society. There needs to be will from the people living in the community as well. Because you can't be running, an initiative, but there's no support in the community.
Exactly,
the community needs to support initiatives like this. The schools need to support initiatives like this. Private sector needs to support initiatives like this.
Yes.
And we need to cut out on red tape.
Wow, man.
In terms of supporting initiatives that work to making sure that our society becomes better. Because in the community that we work in Enyanga, there was a march a couple of weeks back, which went to the police station, just to demand more resources. There are police, but they don't have the resources. People will go and they will report a crime, but it'll take forever to get.
Wow, man, we can speak to you all day. We are running out of time. Just one more time, thank you so much for coming through. That was definitely Yungama from Vulisango. We're going to check out a quick insert from Amandla Development. We'll be right back.
Nelson Mandela dubbed South Africa the Rainbow Nation, yet it remains one of the world's most unequal societies. Nowhere is this more obvious than in township communities like Philippi. In Philippi, there are so many obstacles that prevent students from learning and staying in school. Everything from being too hungry, sick, or scared to learn has led to a dropout rate of over 50%. But Amandla empowers communities to connect schools to groups who are providing what these students need, like mentoring, tutoring, or counseling. We make sure the approach is holistic, and then we measure results to see how safe, supported, and healthy our students really are. To realize the dream of the Rainbow Nation, we have to figure out how to educate all of South Africa's students to their fullest potential, no matter where they grew up.
Let you speak up.
So whenever there's a training opportunity, the school can send them there.
Our work is mainly focused on the child.
We're often talking about large, very different groups of parents.
Amandla's presence in our school, it has made an impact. When children know that somebody is paying attention to them, they actually change for the better.
Elena can tell you, I'm facing a problem like this at home, or I'm facing a problem like this with other learners or with a certain teacher. Can you help me? How can I deal with such?
It's alright to say something that is happening to you, so that you can ask someone to help you. Amanda, encourage us.
There is a sense of working together. The interaction that we have with colleagues in the area has actually ensured that we are aware of availability of resources.
We're actually working on the same problem from different angles. So I think that the collaborative process is very, very important, that having shared goals is important, and also building relationships with other people is important.
Principals, teachers, learners, and some of our parents are telling us they love our work, they love what we do.
They can help you if you go to Amanda so that your life can change.
Amandla is making it possible for us to connect everything the youth need to become productive members of their communities. This powerful program is bringing support to over 10,000 young people in half of Philippi schools. but we want to be in all of Philippi schools, eventually reaching every single person under the age of 25. You can make a huge difference in the life of a student of Philippi. Can we count on you?
Yes, man, what a fantastic insert that was. Amandla Development, and they are doing amazing things with the youth of South Africa. So basically what they're trying to do is to, actually help the quality of education, better the quality of education through the South African youth. Joining us now to tell us more about the organization is Mr. Scott Clark himself. Hey. Before we get into what it is that they actually do, we want to know more about you. Who is Scott Clark? Who's Scott?
Yeah, sure. So thank you so much for having me, first of all.
It's a pleasure.
So yeah, just a little bit about my background. I'm sure the accent gives away that I did not
it does.
in South Africa. I grew up mostly in America, although my family is originally from Jamaica. So I'm actually a dual citizen of those two countries, and I've been in South Africa for about 12 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Lovely stuff.
All right, so now we're talking about Amandla Development. That's your organization, right? But I'm so curious behind the name.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind that name, Amandla Development?
Yeah. So, I mean, in my previous work, in my previous life, before I started Amandla, I was working in sort of the broader development space, international development, educational development. But one thing I always remarked on was how it tended to be so top-down.
Yes.
And so the idea was, could we not shift the paradigm and create an empowered development? And we all know that in Xhosa, Amandla means power, empowerment. So that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish.
Is that what motivated you to start the organization as well, or was there some other contributing factors to the motivation of actually going out there and saying we're actually going to start this?
Yeah. So I mean, look, it actually came from my own personal background. So growing up as an immigrant in the United States, and I hesitate to use the word poor in this context just because obviously American poverty is so different, from South African poverty. But relatively speaking, we were very poor. But it was our Jamaican diaspora community that took care of us.
Oh, okay.
That when we needed medical care, made sure we got that. When we couldn't afford, the groceries, it was our church that took care of those things. And then, I was very fortunate to have gone to Yale University, was successful obviously in high school, and then started working for the university afterwards and was given the mandate to go out and find more young people like myself. But I didn't know that there was anything unique about me. I thought, well, this is just the American dream. This is what everybody does. But then, starting the job and seeing the broader landscape of high school students across America who did grow up like me, but then did not, succeed, I realized obviously there was something different.
Wow.
And started asking the question, what was different about my experience in my community? And, long story short, as I realized that it was the way in which the community surrounded my family and made sure we got the support we needed, that was the birth of the idea that you look in a township community like a Philippi and you see that, although we're improving quality of teaching in some ways and the infrastructure of the schools isn't so bad, the kids are in a context that makes it almost impossible to learn.
Exactly.
And so if they don't get that surrounding support, they're not ready to learn when they get to school.
Wow, man.
And so that's Amandla's mission.
Ooh, and looking at that insert right there, you guys gave us a sneak peek of who you guys are. Now, let's talk about the programs that you guys have to offer. What are they?
Yeah, sure. So we look at it sort of very broadly on two sides, right? On the one side, and then just take a quicker step back, our mission is making sure that every young person can complete their schooling and become employable and active citizens. And so in order to do that, they need support. So the first thing we look at and work with is our partner organizations. We formed a network of about 150 stakeholders across Philippi that includes government departments, so health, social development, education, about 50, 60 other NGOs like ourselves and service providers, and then youth groups, churches, and so forth. So the first thing we're doing is improving the quality and accessibility of support services. We do that with our community partners. But then we also recognize that you can have the best services in the world, and if the young people don't feel empowered or have the agency to go out and seek what they need, it doesn't matter. So we work in schools, we have a mentorship program there that basically introduces the young people to what's available, makes them aware, but then we want to take it from knowledge to action. And through that mentorship, it's how can you make sure that you take charge of your education journey and get what you need.
So basically, in a nutshell, your vision was basically to give all people of different backgrounds a quality and equal education. Would you then say now, a couple of months, couple of years down the line, that you've reached that vision, or do you still say there's quite a long way to go?
There's a very long way to go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I'm probably going to have a lot more gray hairs in my head by the time we actually completely fulfill our mission.
Okay.
But you're seeing a huge difference in the attitudes of young people in the community,
Yes.
what they believe they can accomplish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our teachers report that it's a lot easier to teach them when they are
Okay.
getting supported outside of school. They're not bringing quite as much social baggage, into school.
Yeah.
And then our teachers themselves don't have to play sort of doctor, social
Yes,
worker,
yes.
and teacher along the way. So we've got a long, long way to go, obviously. But I do think, you can see the difference already.
Lovely.
Now let's talk about your proud moments within the organization.
Yeah, sure. So proud moments within the organization. I mean, look, my marching orders have always come from what people tell me I cannot do. I distinctly remember applying to universities as a high school student, and my counselor said, you should never apply to any place like Yale. You're never going to get in. And so, of course, I went out and applied, and then did get in. And so when people told us all the things we couldn't do at the Mandla, there's no way you're going to work in a community like this and get the support you need, we went out and formed a network of 150.
Wow.
When people said you're never going to gather the data to be your evidence base, to make sure that it's not just anecdotes in your work, we went out and gathered it at such a high level of quality that now universities come to us to ask us for our data.
Oh my word, okay.
So we have young people graduating high school. I've seen, teen moms who were forced to drop out, able to get back into school and complete their matric. I've seen young people who thought they would never find employment through our mentorship program get the skills they need to find jobs.
Yes.
But, those, I can only express them as proud moments insofar as I'm proud of our team, because everything we do is about team and community driving it. And I'm the least smart person in the room.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you say, everyone has been saying you can't do that, you won't be able to do it, but we've done it. You won't be able to achieve this and that, and you've actually done it. I want to know from you everything that when you guys started out, I'm sure you guys put in plans in place and say, this is what we're going to do. Have you guys then actually managed to execute those plans correctly? And if not, what happened? How do you plan on going on?
Yeah, I mean, they say if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So we had lots of plans, many of which went out the window as soon as we started working, but that's a good thing, in a lot of ways, right? So, I mean, learning from our community partners it's been huge. It's been everything. I mean, this model rises and falls on the amount that the community is willing to drive it.
Exactly.
Because what we're really about is entering the space, but then helping folks diagnose what's going wrong and equipping them. We're not there because we're smarter than you or because we're better, because obviously I didn't grow up in Philippi. I don't know the context.
Of course.
So we need that knowledge, and it's that knowledge that has told us to change plans a lot along the way.
Wow.
Our fundamental plans of improving the quality and accessibility of services and education, sure, on track, but the ways in which we're doing it, we're learning every day.
Wow.
All right, Scott, we still have you on the show, right? Right about now, I think it's time for us to go and check the Amanda Development testimonies and get to see what other people have got to say about the organization. So check it out. We'll still be right back with Scott.
Amanda is a family for us, and we find love. And we love each other, we support each other in everything, and we teach each other things that we did not understand. And it's like being somewhere else, somewhere you have never been before. And we like sisters, and our facilitators are good to us, and they make sure that we understand the situation esikuyo and the topic abasifunzayo.
My name is Vulisango Youth from Cape Town, South Africa. I was doing with Amanda a survey at schools, and I came across one particular boy who gave me his whole story life in 10 seconds, where he told me his whole family, his mother and father passed away, and the aunt is staying with his sisters, and she left with everything. She can't even afford, he can't afford to eat or anything, and you can't cater for his sisters. He's just himself, and the only way he eats is wake up in the morning to get to school for the feeding scheme. You know what I mean? So boys like those need people to count on. Like, and the work that Amandla is doing right now, it's basically benefiting them, because at the end of the day, we need kids to be kids until they are old enough to not be kids. You know what I mean? And blessed for the work Amandla is doing in South Africa. Thank you.
Hey, amazing stuff, amazing stuff. That are some of the testimonies from the people that actually benefited from the Amandla development. Right about now, we are joined by one of the mentors joining Scott as well, Ongiziwe, yeah? Yes. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I love the spring vibes, you know.
Hey, it's spring now.
I want to know from you, how many schools are you actually involved with? Or basically, what is the mentorship program actually? What do you do, and how many schools are you involved with?
Okay, I'm involved in, I have actually one school, but I do help when maybe some of the mentors are not available.
Oh, okay.
And I do help, yeah,
okay.
Those. So we basically giving lessons about life, like entirely about life. And yeah, it's mostly about, obviously health, healthcare, and also esteem, like how to build your esteem, and so we with that support system too.
Exactly. To the youth, lovely.
You're talking about you guys cater to the learners, you know, giving them much more insight about life, about self-esteem, and you know, so on. We can go on about that, but like, have you seen any improvements from the learners whilst you were mentoring them?
Yes, a lot, because they're very active. Yeah. During class, and the first time I was with them, they were very shy. They couldn't speak their hearts. So now they really relaxed, and yeah, they seem quite informed. Yeah, because they
Cool. Scott, I want to know from you, what has the reception of the community been like since you bringing in mentors to schools such as Ongiziwe? What's the reception of the community? How do they feel about it?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, look, the teachers in particular, I think, are happy, you know, to have us and happy to see us in the schools, because again, it reduces their burden of trying to deal with all the social ills, and then it makes discipline easier. Just makes it easier to teach. As far as the broader community is concerned, I think that the reception has been fantastic. So much more than we could have planned or hoped for. You know, when we started this project, I was told by the education department, why don't you check these sort of 4 communities? They gave us a few to try. Let's see who actually wants it. And there was a lot of sort of lukewarm reception in other places. Philippi was excited to actually have us, and that excitement has actually been maintained, much to my surprise, but it's been great.
Wow.
And do you plan to take this project nationwide or just, you know, countrywide?
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
The answer
Love
to that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, what we're looking at is, how do you teach in a context where poverty is so rife and so difficult, and actually have children learn? You know, all around the world you see that in poor contexts, whether it's inner cities in America and parts of Jamaica where my family is from, all of those burdens mean most kids are dropping out and not really getting anywhere. So if we can actually create a model that can do that, that's relevant everywhere.
Exactly. Now, we've seen some of the testimonies up on screen, but we want to know from you, what are some of the success stories that some of the people that actually came through, you know, the likes of Amandla development?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, I'll just tell you like 1 or 2, and then I'd actually like Ongiziwe to tell you a little bit about her own plans. So I mean, we had a young lady last year who was forced to drop out of school because she had fallen pregnant, which is not supposed to happen, but obviously we know that it often does. And you know, there's a women's shelter and a youth-friendly health space that we've developed with some of our partners that she was able to plug into, get care for her child during the day, get herself back into school, and actually able, you know, to make it to a trip. We had a group of volunteers with us here recently where we were able to do some health screenings. You know, unfortunately, just due to the high level of burden, the education department often struggles to do as much preventive health care as they want. But we were able to screen over 1,500 young people for hearing loss, more than has been done in literally the last 10 years in our schools. And actually, there were 6 that would have certainly become deaf in the next couple of years that we identified and were able to get health care.
How about you?
Okay. So speaking about myself, I live in Vulisango. It's an orphanage home. It's a great place to be in.
Yeah.
Just survive the way.
Yeah. So I guess I feel like it's my responsibility to give back, because I was also groomed and nurtured by
yes.
the community.
Yes.
So that's why I'm involved in Amandla development. So what I'm basically doing, I'm involved in arts.
Okay.
So we do a lot of traveling.
Okay.
We go to Germany and France,
Italy.
Traveling all the way.
Yeah. So yes, it's one of the very exciting things about myself. So yes, I think Scott.
Your business that you're starting?
Oh, you're starting a business as well.
Gail, tell us.
Very ambitious.
What's
I love
the
it.
business about?
So it's more catering.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm planning to have like a restaurant in
Hey.
future.
Nice.
But it's still in a very infant stage.
I think what you should do is you can invite us and we can test the
Yeah,
food
right.
and things like that as well.
Can
And
we
then I'll
just
give you
do
the
that?
heads up.
That's your marketing right there. See, sorted.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm planning on those, but like, yeah.
Yes. We take our time. We take our
She's being
time.
very humble.
She's
Right.
very
Big
humble,
thing.
I can tell.
Now, Scott, moving forward, what more can we expect from Amandla development besides with what you guys have done so far? But what more can we expect?
Is there
'Cause
more?
I'm so excited already. You know.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're reaching about half the kids in the community.
Yeah.
We want to be reaching every single one. You know, so I mean, when I say worldwide, I'm being a little bit cocky because it's going to take us a long time to get there.
Yeah.
But you know, we need to be reaching every young person in the community, improving this model. And so that's, you know, we're putting our heads down. We're focused. We're in partnership with our, you know, friends in the community to prove that this is the way to make sure that it doesn't matter where you start out in life. We all should have the same opportunities to get as far as we can and build this country.
Exactly. Scott, absolutely amazing work that you guys are doing. Thank you so much for coming through and
Thanks for
actually
having us.
sharing some of that insightful information and the very humbled Ungeziwe as well. Don't forget to invite us to that restaurant. Listen, we are so grateful for people like Scott actually for going out there and helping the South African youth as well. Or in fact, youth around the world, around the globe, like it's being cocky. Right now we're going to check out a cool insert. It's called Dance for Chance. Net in case you will jigga. You know what I'm saying? Hey, cool. Wow. That insert was called Dance for a Chance. So actually, your moves that is will practice, and that is definitely the insert you want to check out. One more time, my name is Giselle Forbes, and I'm not alone. I'm with Ms. Zayda. We're taking you all the way till 5 p.m. If you just tuned in, you missed a cool interview with Scott and Ongeziwe from Amandla Development. Man, the work that they do is just so amazing, you know. And I feel like our youth actually needs that support, you know, people coming out there and saying, hey, look, we are here to help. Because sometimes school actually gets a bit boring because you spend about 8 hours in school and you're just like, and then people like Scott, them come in and make the learning process so much fun, and you actually then want to learn, and that is actually something that our youth actually lacks. They lack that fun in learning, the education and that. So I love that, man.
I feel like education is the initial source of, how can I say, some source that we all need in our lives, because without education we can never be anything, right?
Exactly.
But for a kid, for a child to go home, to go to school in the morning with no food in their tummies, and there's no lunchbox monies, there's nothing, and there's also other bullies out there that are still waiting for this kid to get to school, and then now we're gonna torment the kid. And where do you find happiness in that? You understand what I mean? But I feel like it's very important for all of us to, especially as young adults, to actually teach the young people, because they are the next generation. In becoming better and not to be bullies at all.
Man.
Especially in our communities. That needs to be changed.
Definitely. And we want to say a huge shout out and a thank you to organizations such as Amandla Development and also Vulisango, for going out there and teaching our youth to become better. We're going to take a quick ad break. When we come back, we have lots more
movies. Hey, welcome back. You tuned in right here on EkSe. We live right here on K-Town TV, baby. It's still me, your girl Zeta, and of course I'm not riding all alone with Za in that corner right over there. Well, as much as we love our country, guys, we also love our South African films. Right about now, it's time for us to check some of our 2 favorite trailers of our South African made films. And of course, Rizal is gonna take his side of, you're gonna showcase us your type of, movie. And then I'm gonna show you guys my favorite type of movie. All you have to do is actually vote for your favorite. Go on our social media platforms. We're available on Facebook and of course on Twitter as well.
Man, absolutely. Make sure you're at home, vote for the movie as well. I just wanted to, do the challenge.
Oh my gosh,
Okay, so my movie is called 5 Fingers for Marseillais, if that's how you pronounce the township. So basically, this is a local Western movie, kind of like a Western movie. So basically, it's about a community close to a railway in the remote areas of the Marseillais. So they actually fall victim to some brutal police oppression. And nobody wants to stand up to them except the 5 fingers, as they call them, the young ones. And then eventually what happens is hot-headed Tao, which is one of the characters, he actually decides, I'm gonna kill a policeman. I'm gonna kill a police, much like we feel at home as well. And then a lot of things actually goes down. I'm not gonna spoil it too much, just check it out.
I feel like you already spoiled your movie anyway. Let's just check it out.
Don't get any ideas, just check it out. Check this out. I'm winning.
Qalong ho tlile diterene ya ba tsona di tla di rotse magolo qala ba iphaditsa ba re ke lefatshe la bo bona
kutheni usikhathalele kangaka Tao
ka tlameha ba le matla lerato lerato hantle o khutletse a ke ro ba leile ha o qeta hore kenya mathateng ha o qala wa ha o kenya mathateng ha
toropo e lokolohileng e bodile ke sefolotsana a se mojondolo bona mola o mong fela janjanyana ka o tseba hore wena o mang
right, intriguing.
Intriguing indeed. Listen, I know definitely that movie's winning. Even the guys you see is like, ow, woo, even that one, I've been asked if the movie's out yet. You can go check it out on YouTube. The trailer is fantastic. Yeah. What about you? You have a movie?
I think it's a little bit interesting, but I doubt it will actually.
It's a local Western. When did you ever
mine
see?
is also local as well. And since I'm a girl, I actually chose romance. You know how girls feel about romance, but I know guys are probably like, this girl, yes, no, romance, no. It's romance and a little bit of action, but it's this hot guy. I don't know if I'm bound to say hot, but he is hot. It's a hot guy.
This is a youth show.
Listen to me. He walks into this tavern, right? That's in a rural township, and then he actually demands for a beer. Yeah, he goes by the name of TK, and he's quite charming. So he finds this girl that he's quite interested in, but the girl is hard to get, and that's the name of the trailer, hard to get, right? But I don't want to spoil it much.
Does he get the girl?
But he does kind of get the girl.
Let's see it.
There's also a bit of more violence to it, and then the girl is now found into deep in violence, and she's part of the gang. But anyways, I don't want to spoil it. Let's go and check it out, and mine is gonna win. Rizal, let's go and check it out.
Let me see this.
Sintike melight. Yiso. Chance.
Awunikeza 30 minutes. Mangabe le ndawo lena ijabulisa. Ukhazana.
Uhlafuna melight awuthole njalo kaThapisa.
Ungisa ngokwena.
Ubonake umzohambisa ingane efana nayo. Uyise kwantombi zaduma. Kumele ukuthi unayeke. Indoda eprovide.
Ibhamu zingenaphi?
Lesifebe lesengikhuluma ngaso. Angisizohlala umangothobana find umrabaraba.
Mina ngagcina ukuba nomuntu oqondile ngisakusaphe. Ngicabanga ukuthi umuntu oqondile.
Abona usidlala ngabo nomuntu.
Ngiyathanda ngithi.
Ufuna isithi. Ngitshela ukuthi ufuna.
Do you see what's going on there? Like, dude, everybody needs to go and watch it. And also you guys definitely need to vote for your favorite. Is it the Rizal's, which was, and then is it mine? But go on our social media platforms and vote for your favorite.
Listen. She can't win because this is a youth show. What is this hard to get business here? 5 fingers for Marcelaise is what you should wish for.
Oh, wow.
So definitely, but like she said, you can hit us up on our social media pages. Let us know what movie you absolutely loved. On Facebook, we are EkSe on Cape Town TV. And on Twitter, we are at EkSe_live. I, by the way, need help to unlock my account. I need help.
You don't have Twitter anymore, so anyways.
Exactly, so.
Yeah, but I think you need a music video right now just to dance a little bit.
I need to dance it off. We're going to take a quick musical interlude. When we come back, we will be wrapping things up like a Salome wrap.
Well.
Saphela izinto zabantu mabefika bethi ngusavula bo. Uzaphela izinto zabantu mabefika bethi ngibuyanika unini bethi kubuleke uzophapha manini sekunjalo akuthandi ukukhuluma ngabantu indaba zabantu azenziwa njalo ezakho zikhulunywa ngubani na sinakwekuwe wena wedwa akuthandi ukukhuluma ngabantu
Listen, welcome back, man. We are summing up the show.
Yeah.
Time do surely fly by very fast, and I said that very slow. Why is my camera not changing? There we go. That's where. Listen, man, I had a fantastic time in studio. Blue Monday has never felt this good. I should write a song. Anyone need a ghostwriter or anything? I had a fantastic time. Listen, if you want to be on the show, if you want to catch the repeat, you want to catch anything, hit us up on our social media. We're EkSe on Cape Town TV on Facebook, and on Twitter we are at EkSe_live. By the way, I still need help with that unlocking of the account. Also, email us, iamlamamu@gmail.com. What a show, Zayda.
Yeah, man, what a show. I actually enjoyed myself, and I hope you guys also enjoyed yourselves as well at home. But if you missed anything, don't forget to catch the repeat in the morning at 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning right here on Cape Town TV, channel 263. Right about
Absolutely.
now, I think it's time for me to
that is it. Tomorrow it is Jennifer and Sinalo. We are out of here. We are out of here. We are out of here. I just feel like, we had a good show.